What I would love to see is just a simple model instead of that checklist, which you're right, it did overwhelm me and I felt like, wow.
I mean, you don't have to do anything. You can just use user pilot and everything will work out.
Wow. Very nice splash screen.
Hello everybody, this is Aazar. I'm the head of growth at User Pilot, and today we have Yazan and Sarvana with us. Yazan, would you like to introduce yourself?
How you doing? I think everybody knows me from the last Teardown. Hopefully I'll be doing a lot more with you. Pretty excited for this one because I actually have not interacted with this product before, Document360. You know, I have some experience with knowledge-based software, so I'm pretty excited for this Teardown.
Yeah. Hi, this is Sarvana. I'm the founder of Document360. Document360 is our third product. We are a multi-product company. So we found a lot of gaps in the while documenting our other two enterprise products, and out of our own pain point, Document360 was evolved. It's about 2-year-old product now, and really, we constantly enhance the onboarding user experience. And I'm really looking forward to the session from the experts, what they're going to discover and how we can improve it from here.
So first things first, I just have a thing for beautiful, clean designs, and this just hits it. Clear copy. I mean, it's pretty clear for the first 5 seconds what it does. The one thing that I would emphasize is scales with your product. So that could mean a lot of stuff, right? So what does it mean that a knowledge base can scale with my product? Is it, in terms of pricing? Is it in terms of, as I grow, I'm going to need more features? And you have that. So that's pretty interesting. But other than that, everything's clean. The CTA, super, super clean. Just enter your email, get started. It's telling me it's self-serve, and it's always whenever I see just get started, enter your email, sign up. It's a clear indication that, you know what, you can probably set this up yourself. You're not going to need any help. And that's a positive sign.
Yeah.
I can see also couple more things. There is book a demo. So that's kind of like a secondary CTA. Loving all the big logos down there. So that's confidence. And there's a video, right? Free, no credit card. And then there's a video which introducing the product, looks very sleek too.
Cool.
Very nice.
Cool. So my thoughts are other than Yazan's thought. I think the design is great. I just want to highlight the fact that I would keep get started button and the sign up button on top a little bit the same CTA, and watch a video should have, if it's not a priority CTA, I would just change it a little bit to alternatively watch a video. So the user still knows what's the main call to action, and that's sign up. That's what you're optimizing for. So a little bit tweaking and see if that actually helps.
Sure, yeah, makes sense.
Right, and we don't want to spend a lot of time on the landing page, obviously, because we want to get to the good stuff. But very, very nice. Again, very clean. Now I can see some stuff about user feedback, that I can have my own branding and some of other features as well. And I'm actually pretty excited just to dive deep. So I'm just going to hit that sign up. What is your first reaction on this page, Aazar?
Okay, I just got into it. I love the fact that it says rated #1 knowledge-based software, because it means that this means a lot of things. And this means that the product is trustworthy. I see the same logos there. I see that there is no friction in terms of no credit card, easy setup, cancel anytime. So there's no objection for me to not go through it. I love the fact that in the phone they gave that the phone is optional. So far, everything looks good. I would love to go further.
Now let's see. Wow, very nice splash screen. And I'm guessing they're not gonna ask for
the password or
no, already put the password, no verification.
Yeah, perfect.
All
That's
right.
Great, actually, right? So that means that they're having less drop off there.
Yeah, and I'll always, like, we always keep mentioning this in the product-led era of software. You want your product to start from there, from the bottom, self-serve, where people can, even enterprise clients these days, they want to try the software before they talk to salespeople, and we keep talking about that. And the fact that I'm able in 5 seconds, by the way, did you notice one screen?
Just
I
one
had
screen. Yeah, I saw
one
that.
screen, and I was able to get into the product just by entering my name, my email, and a password, and I'm in. I'm in already. And so it's always pretty exciting to see how companies handle their first run experience. So that's the first run, first time using the product. So this is a modal, a very nice modal with kind of like a checklist. So this is a native checklist, getting started, your profile, knowledge base, editor, design. So yeah, let's get started. So profile already pre-filled from the sign up. And so I guess this modal is setting me up. So
Setting me
it's
up. Yeah.
right. So it's kind of like a not really a checklist that is just gonna be laying there. They want to make sure to get you through some stuff before. So I'm just gonna say user pilot here, and then I have my subdomain. Beautiful. Editor. So what do ideal for text-based documents, simple formatting. So now a choice between just a markdown or the WYSIWYG that we like. So I guess this is more of a simpler, would you say, Sarvana? Why did you
Yeah,
make that choice? It's
yeah,
pretty.
it's a people, like from technical background, they will understand and they prefer markdown. And if you're from a non-technical background, you choose the Visi editor and then you go. And we also give you a tip, you can actually choose later as well. So that's the idea behind. Yeah.
So you would recommend markdown
Yeah,
for some.
markdown is fine. Yeah, we want that to be a default because that got a lot of functionalities, and you should be okay for 80-90% of the scenarios. Yeah, I think that's why we left that as a default option. Yeah.
Right. And why did you think that this is such an important step in that first run? What was the thinking behind making a choice between, what, I'm just going to leave the markdown as the default because it works for 90% of the cases, and just leave it maybe somewhere in the settings. So if somebody wants to go to the settings, set it up, they
No,
can
I
just
think
do that.
it's a difficult choice because if somebody from a technical background is signing up, they're fine. But so if we want, we don't want to make a decision for them straight away because it's a big thing. Like that's where they're going to spend majority of their time. As soon as you get into the documentation, editor is where you're going to spend 80-90% of the time in a knowledge base, right? So we really wanted to make sure they make a choice. And okay, it's a tough one, but we thought, we will bring it in the onboarding so they make a decision rather than they go and then they're thinking, I don't understand anything from the markdown editor. I really want something simpler, and they're letting them search through settings and things like that. We don't want to do that. So hence we brought it here. Yeah.
Cool. And now we get to the customization. So there's a great debate here, Aazar, by the way, about, should we just try in the first run to obsessively push some valuable actions, right? In things that, maybe like start writing your first article, or let's import your articles from another competitor, right? And these are like valuable actions. And there's another debate that says, well, in some cases, doing these very small tasks like setting up my theme, adding my logo, right? They have that emotional impact that I'm making progress, right? Even though it's very small progress, but I'm making progress, and it keeps giving you that motivation to continue. I really love this. This is the one of the very few times that I felt, I chose the editor that I wanted to be, marked down, and now I'm choosing my customization and my logo, and I feel kind of good that I want to continue.
Yeah.
That's exactly, customization is important. Even I was experimenting a chat application this morning, and the first thing I did naturally there is, okay, can I change my branding and can I change my logo? And those are the instinct you do. And especially things like knowledge base, people really want to see how flexible it is. Like, can I change my color of my knowledge base, or the logo of my knowledge base and things like that. And that's why we kept it really simple, even though you can do a lot of things like changing headers and footers and stuff like that. We kept preliminary, the basic things what people wanted to change, and also they can go with the default as well. If you don't want to make a choice now, that's also fine as well. That's the reasoning behind that screen. Yeah.
So one recommendation from me, when you were asking me for the name, email address, and password, if you ask me for, I mean, I don't know how much dev capacity you have to rework on it, but if I were you, I would already ask their website, and based on the website, I can already pull the colors and I can already pull the logo. So it gives more personalization, and we've seen that in the past. Engage has done that, and see if you can actually move them down and let them say, okay, is this the correct one? Let's go forward. Maybe it reduces a step as well as take them to finish the model faster.
Yeah, that's I think that's actually in our roadmap. Like, that's a bit of, advanced sophistication. Yeah, that's something I agree. Yeah.
Right. Cool. And then we're almost there. This is going to be public or private. So, you know what, we're just going to start with the public and creating a project. I just love these little details, by the way. Love the details, the loaders, the images. It's a very nice experience. And I have used a few products in this space without mentioning any names. And I really, really like I like this process.
Yeah. So my opinion on this is, I saw two illustrations first in the get started and the last in the finish. While this is setting up, what I'm seeing is that I would have loved it if instead of the illustrations, there was some product image already, that how it would look like at the end. Mm-hmm. And so maybe I'm more motivated. I don't know how much it will you have to do the A/B testing. And that's why we at User Pilot always suggest our customers to do A/B testing and try which one actually works. But just giving them imagination actually helps. So that was just a small feedback from my side. I was also already signed up to the platform, and what I while we are on the screen, I want to just share that it felt too overwhelming for me right now as the screen that I saw. Yeah. Because it seems
now we're getting to the heaviest stuff.
Yeah, it's a detailed product, and I would rather take a user directly to an action. And you see me there's a huge checklist that I have to go through. There's a 3% on the left side, and I felt whatever the progress I made was not good enough for me to actually do.
Sure, I think what we could do here is not show this particular screen, because the user got access to it at the top. I'll come back to that. But we put a description as well, when you are in a trial mode, right? We thought, when you are in a trial mode, you want to make sure you explore all the features in the product. So what we are doing here is, as and when you explore a feature, we just put that green tick mark, added a logo or added an article, things like that. You can close this one. If you close that window,
So this is what
I'd have to agree with Aazar on that one. Yeah. I felt maybe instead of just showing that, a lot of these features can come later down the user journey, right? They don't have to be in the first run. I think the goal in the first run is to set up my my subdomain, and then maybe be able to import. Because think about this, a lot of your users are here today and they already have a knowledge base, right? Yeah. Us, for example, we have a knowledge base, and maybe we want to transition, right?
Our research says that there's 99% of the of the SaaS companies have a knowledge base already. So everybody,
of course, almost the whole market that Document360 is tapping in probably already has. So what I would love to see is just a simple model instead of that checklist, which you're right, it did overwhelm me, and I felt wow, I need to set up almost, I think there was 40 or 50 tasks in there, and I have to set all that up. No, maybe a simple model that would say either import existing articles or create my first article. And I really wanted to get into the whole process of, if I create an article, how good is the WYSIWYG editor? How good is the how well can I tag these? I can test it. How well can the searchability be? If a simple user It can search for anything. And then most importantly, do you have like a widget that I can include in my app, or is it just going to be like that subdomain? I have to send people to that subdomain. So these are some of the questions, and people just really want to, I think, dive deeper on that. But one thing that is related to the sign up that I like, I haven't seen this much, but verify your email within 1 day to keep using Document360. I really
that's
like
great.
that. So
Amazing.
Amazing. I like that.
Yeah, but I have one comment on that. So if I were you, I would only keep that verify your email address 1 day on the first day, and like keep these things that book a demo, chat with us on the left side, because right now it seems like too overwhelming screen for me. There's like where we have a schedule maintenance banner coming up.
The top one you normally won't see it. Unfortunately, we have scheduled maintenance this Sunday. The remaining, and also the trial bar is something, like only the trial users see it, the top one. We wanted to bring some certain things. For example, like the tutorial videos is another thing. I would want to highlight few things. So here you can see, we already created some sample documents already using the platform itself, explaining the product using our own editor stuff. And at the top, the tutorial videos is where, top right. If you go to the top right.
Tutorial videos on top,
This is the tutorials.
So here, we published all the key videos. Like, I personally did everything, but we are in the process of making it professional and things like that. So that will give all those core features. People can, take 2 minutes, 3 minutes, etc. if they like something. That's another thing as part of onboarding. We did it. And also the chat with us is, like all those things at the top. And also the feature explode will open up again that same window. And the 3% will keep increasing. The more and more they explore the product, that percentage will keep on increasing over a period of time.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of stuff here that people who are watching today can get out of this, right? And I love all the resources that you have. So obviously they have invested a lot of time to. So for me, here's my own opinion. It's clear that if I have the motivation to use Document360, then you have given me all the resources. I have the videos. I can schedule a demo, and you don't see that often. That CTA inside the product, you don't see it often. I have the checklist, which is basically not only telling me about my progress in the user journey, but also kind of telling me what are the features that I should be expecting. Right, so I can take a look here and see all the features that I should be expecting in terms of, like, public status, change slug, all that stuff, adding files. But the one thing, my only problem is if I'm unmotivated, if I'm somebody that is coming in, I'm like, you know what, I'm doing the research. My boss told me to do this. I have to do some recommendation. And I'm going in and, I just want to get my hands dirty. You haven't really shown me, like, it took me a while, and it's still taking me a while. I can see that I can add a category. I'm still not sure how I can actually create my first
article. Yeah.
That is like big. I'm still not sure. I still can't see it. And that's why I went to the get started. And then I'm looking, okay, well, create your Document360 account. I obviously already did that.
No, I think that feedback I've already given, like couple of, the first 2 points are not valid. So I told the team just recently, like those things shouldn't be there on this particular article. Yeah.
Quick question from my side. So you added this dummy in your application. Did you see any kind of increase in trials or increase in activation by adding this dummy that you want to show, or was it there every time?
When you say dummy, the dummy articles, you mean?
The dummy article that you showed, or create a new project, add a new.
Aazar, they're not actually dummy. They're
real.
Actually
they're real.
Part of the onboarding.
But that's like how I would want to set up. This is the end goal, right? That's how they're motivating me to have this something. I just want. This is a big question right now in SaaS. Well, should you have dummy, or should you have some example already, or should you not?
This is more of an example article which they can delete. And I think, I think one point I will take it. It's not very clear, how you can add a new article. So it's actually, I can say it's really hidden.
I'm really trying to figure it out right now. And
Okay.
I don't want to look very dumb right now, but
No. You mouse over the documentation folder.
right. So this is the documentation.
Yeah,
I
and
have
then
to
click
go.
that add article.
Oh,
Because you
wow.
need to say where you are going to add an article, right? You need to, because it always article belongs to a folder or a category. So your first step is always adding a category, and then you add an article underneath that folder. Yeah.
The thing is that
Right.
we don't
So
operate in our head that way. We want to create an article first and then give it the category, because
yeah, I'm
category is
trying
not
to.
important to us. For us, what is important to us is create an article and see, okay, how does it look, and then later on give it a category or tag it. I feel like you have a lot of features to explore in terms of the application itself. And what I'm seeing right now here is that if you like if you give them baby steps to actually do certain things and they find the value themselves, you would get to the user activation moment, which is create an article and publish it. That's your key activation moment. If you give them baby steps instead of overwhelming them, the user will do something. And this is what our hypothesis, and this is what we've proved it as well. Interactive walkthrough, where the user interacts with the product, gets to the activation moment much faster than something that they have to explore. And exploring means that they have to wait for it, find out. So you need to help them a little bit and test it out if the interactive part works. And your user can actually create an article and publish it, and not only one article. And then you have to see, okay, if they've actually published 3 articles, what should you show next? And then what you should know next one, they have like a category created, a feature created, a feature article created. And then if they invited a user, okay, because this is not a one-time product, you have to have a whole team working behind it. So once they invited somebody, what should be doing they be doing next? So I think you need to think about user journey map and what the user journey map should look like. And Yazan can talk more about it. But once you know the user journey map, and I'm pretty sure you know it, you can just go back and make the user do those baby steps. Because as soon as I came in, it was a bit overwhelming for me.
Yeah, I think and I fully appreciate that's exactly that I can see clearly, like when somebody is doing it first time, certain few key steps are actually hidden well inside. So we probably need to bring them up. Yeah.
Product looks great, actually, but I find everything in there, although it's very feature rich. I have a quick question. You already recently did this onboarding revamp. So before the revamp and after the revamp, did you see any numbers changing?
We haven't measured it. To be honest, we haven't measured it deeply, because all of us are really busy with typical feature updates and things like that. We haven't done any real comparison, like whether it changed anything or at this stage yet.
Okay, so I think when we publish this, we before that, we would like to some numbers so that we can say, hey, this is the new changes happened, and so the listeners can know about it as well. Cool. Any last comments, some summary from you, Yazan, that you want to give this in this teardown?
Right. I overall think the product very clean. Sign up is very clean. When I go in, there's all the resources I need. I love that I just published my first article, and the checklist progress bar just increased. I can see that I did something. So as I said, yeah, all the resources are there. The only thing is that I would have loved to be able to start by, so you saw what I did. This is one of the, I actually deleted everything because I wanna try to preview this whole thing. So I deleted everything. I created a category called getting started, and then I created my first article, getting started with user pilot. That took me a time. Like, it took me a time to actually find out that I have to go hover here and somehow go to these 3 dots, right, to be able to add an article. I think adding a category is clear, but adding an article is not. Yeah, I mean, I like the product. It's very clean, and usability wise, I would say pretty good. But try to push me more. I think your call to action in that first run should be all about. I think if you are able to get somebody, because the thing about it, the process is not very complex. You don't need them to install a code. you can get to AHA very easy, just simply by either importing from another software that I'm using, which I probably would start with that because I have a knowledge base, or creating your first article, right? In that category, just maybe maybe a nice action-driven tooltip here, just to kind of like highlight that area where I need to go.
One of the things, we were looking at it is definitely, like adding a button there to clear the current setup, because I can see clearly, people want to get rid of all those current things, right? Like all the current articles and current folders, etc. So we can add a button at the bottom, clear all the default things. That's one thing. And we can also bring, add an article.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to do anything. You can just use user pilot and everything will work out. Just kidding.
But yeah, great product and good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think this was so. This is the feedback from us. Three of you on YouTube looking at it on this video. You can just write #onboarding and we will do another teardown with your SaaS. Cheers. Bye bye.